Good morning. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. We're powered by Advanced Trading. Flying it solo today. Both Connor and Brady are in meetings, meeting with farmers, doing exactly what they should do. We had some overnight news. We had some interesting events happen here. We had FC Stone come out with yields, and again, confirming from what they see, and they do a great job with the survey, some good yields out there. We had the drought monitor map come out. On the headlines, we have twos and tens doing about, they're at par, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We sold some more beans, and that is a good thing. We have a lot more to sell. Let's take it to LaSalle Street real quick if we have time. Mr. Rick, let's take us there. Dees corn down 2, looking at the beans, no beans down 4, coming back from where we were last night. Markets rallying a little bit. Meal down 65, oil up. Seeing some volatility in wheat. Border trade wheat down 3. Casey wheat down 1. Hard Red Springs had a real nice bid to it. We were on this early. We knew we had quality issues. North Dakota farmers came to us right away and said, we have some really big problems in part of the state with quality wheat when it comes to Hard Red Spring. Looking at cattle, cattle down 90, feeders down 70, hogs, October hogs down 80. Next, we go to the old Wall Street. Fly us out to New York. Gold up 15, silver up 70. Talking interest rates now, folks. This is where it gets interesting. 2s, 5s, 10s, and 30s. The 2-year yield and the 10-year yield are at the exact same rate. All those markets are up today, which means yields are low. Yields are lower than where they were last December. It's been a wild year in interest rates, but they're calming down. Crude oil up 85 cents. We talked about locking in those fuel needs. Not necessarily something I would do with futures or options, just doing it old school. Who do you buy your fuel from? Give them a call, tell them harvest is coming and you need a couple loads of fuel. Hey, and for a question or a comment, what are you paying for red fuel in your area? I sent that text and comment out. We saw 240, 250, 260. What's red going for in your area? Dow Jones up 21. NASDAQ doing NASDAQ things up 140. S&P's up 22. Bitcoin down another 1,000, 57,000. Be interested to see where Bitcoin finishes the year out and what it is up or down. Dr. Copper up. Let's go back to the show. We have a few headlines. We'll answer some questions and we'll get out of here. Okay. Want to talk about, it's been nice that we've rallied. It's awesome that we've rallied. I love it. This is a gift. In my opinion, it's a gift. If we continue to rally, it'll be okay. You have some forward sales at this point. Hopefully you buy calls or call spreads. That's what we like to do. If you're scared to sell, we're going to go out to that Jan time frame and protect those soybeans with a Jan option. The reason I like Jan options versus this November is I have to get you through this election. I don't know if you're new here, but we have an election in 60 days. And the way November options expire, which they're going to expire right at the end of October. And then we're going to have this election and we could get extreme volatility. We could have thin markets. We can get in a fight with China. All types of things could happen. China, Taiwan, nothing would surprise me when it comes to this election cycle and how we finish 2024. I'd like to see you in a Jan option if you're scared to sell soybeans. Now, next is corn. We have carry in the corn. Look at your prices. Sure, SEP made that horrible low price. Now we have the Dees contract. Looking at Dees corn trading 410. But if you're going to carry that corn, we're starting to get to some attractive prices. March corn at 429. But where it gets interesting, if you were to carry your corn all the way out to May corn 439. We have clients, my clients, Tom Grisafi clients, we've suggested for people, I have people who grow corn seed and they're allowed to price it all the way out till May. We said, get those offers in there, 450, 460, 470. Catch that carry if you really want that. Now, there's cost to doing that. If you need help with that, give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM. Sure helps to have a bin if you're going to catch carry. If you want to trade like the big boys, you want to use those bins the right way, whether it's a 10,000 bushel bin, 100,000 bushel bin, or million bushel bin, you need to be educated on how to use it. Speaking of bins, China backing the truck up and buying a little more grain from us on the headline cycle. China buying grain, and we love it, or somebody, right? 126 metric tons of delivery to China during 2024 marketing year. 189.70 metric tons of soybeans to delivery to unknown. Ring the bell. We love when China comes in and buys our stuff. All right. We have a couple charts. We have a little bit of news about the drought map. But as we go through the headlines, I want to talk real quick about twos and tens. Growing up outside of Chicago and going down to the border trade in early, when did I go down there? 1989. And started full time in the summer of 90. but the interest rates were flying back then, and I spent a lot of time in the interest rate products. I spent a lot of time in the 10-year pit and the corn pit, and that back when I was a kid, the 30-year was way more popular than the 10-year. But then there was a time, if you're old enough to remember, where we actually there was a time, I want to say this right, where we canceled the. We'll look back. We'll talk about this tomorrow. There was a time when the United States government, for a while, canceled 30-year auctions, and I have to look back why they did that, how they did that, everything else. But that was very interesting, nonetheless. So we know a lot about interest rates, and you know a lot about interest rates because right now you're either paying 8% on an operating note or you're making 4 or 5% in the bank. So watch these twos, tens. Money's so important. It comes into storing grain. It comes into managing all the parts of your farm. It's really affecting the equipment market, new equipment, used equipment, everything else. Everyone's affected by interest rates. Even someone who says, "Hey, I'm wealthy, I don't borrow anything." Well, how much money are you making on the assets you have, whether it be land or anything else? All right, with that, we got a couple pictures here I want to bring in. With those pictures, we this is from my friend out on Twitter. His name's Dave. He puts out real nice charts. What he said. Thank you for popping that up, Mr. Rick. Corn rarely makes its annual low in August. It's possible. Yesterday, Advanced Trading sent clients some charts, and I have those. If you're Advanced Trading client, I'll send those to you on seasonal lows. Now we've had this counter seasonal rally. Will we go back and take that out? History says we go lower from here. But at least we have today. Corn's down 2, beans are down 5. Seeing some action out in the wheats are well off the low. You're seeing some commodities do very well. Rotation may be out of stocks in the commodities. It's election year. Anything can happen. And speaking of happening, every Thursday we get the drought monitor map. And look at this. Something's changed here. When you look at that eastern belt, that's not good. Look at that eastern belt. Our friends in Ohio have been complaining about this for a while. Ohio taking it on the chin out there. Parts of Indiana starting to see yellow in places I haven't seen it in a while. And then, of course, we got to look at the drought map also for our friends in the cattle industry. Y'all know inventories are tight on cattle, and that drought map will affect it a lot. So, with this, here's another drought map, and you're seeing Ohio and parts of Indiana dry up. This is very much going to determine how we finish this crop. So, if you're out there and you're watching, questions, comments, throw them my way. I'll do my best to answer on the show or off the show. Real quick, I want to talk about premium content. Yesterday, Mr. Jesse Allen jumped on. Jesse, as you know, is one of the folks who comes on for premium content. He has been a wild man. He was traveling all over. He was at Farm Progress. He was at his hometown in Iowa. He's been north. He's been south. He's covered so much of the ground. And it's interesting when he stops by ATI Pro Media Premium. It's interesting to hear his perspective on what he's seen out there in ag land. One of the biggest takeaways from yesterday's premium was I said, Jesse, what was the most interesting part of Farm Progress show? And he said the word technology. He said they started a whole new tent just for people who wanted a booth to talk about technology. So if you're ATI Pro Media Premium subscriber, thank you. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not, we'd love to have you. $30 a month, $1 a day. With that, questions, comments, anything else I get out of here. Buckeye Farmer Boy reaching out. 22 counties in Ohio declared natural disaster area because of drought. So what we need to do is go back to ATI corporate, go to research. We really got to start to digest how many bushels are produced in Ohio, and will this have an effect on final yield? I know the Mississippi River is becoming low or lower, and Mississippi River doesn't get low because it rained too much in the month of August. Any other questions, comments, anybody out there, anything else on my mind? I will say this, before I go, we had a client who wanted to do a meeting the other day, and he had a meeting yesterday in North Dakota, and he said, I wish you could have came here. I said, it's so far to travel and everything else. I said, hold on a second. I'll send you a link from our service, and I'll be there virtually. So if any of you out there in ag land need a meeting, you need a speaker, you need something quick, we can do this. We could send you a link. We could pop on the projector. We could talk for 5-10 minutes. We can answer questions, and then we could offer your group a few months free of ATI Pro Media. This is how you get a hold of us at ATI Pro Media. You hold your little phone to that or snap a picture of it and save it. That's our QR code, and we are ready to help. I'm in a good mood. I hope you are too. Markets are bouncing back a little bit. I'd like to give away a flag. We haven't given away a flag in a long time. you love America as much as I do, and you try not to watch all the rhetoric on the political channels and everything else because you just love America, we'll send you a flag. Get a hold of us, info@ATI Pro Media, 1-855-737-FARM. Tom Grisafi checking out. If you didn't have a chance, I was on RFD TV this morning, right before I popped on this show with my good friend Tony St. James. Advanced Trading, I'll have that loaded up to our YouTube channel. As always, we ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's so important, if you want, to hit notifications so that when we go live or when we put out fresh content or when we put out YouTube shorts, you will see them. With that, checking out Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading, Valparaiso, Indiana, flying it solo today. I don't think I did too bad. If I did bad, give me a call, 1-855-737-FARM. We will see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.